Welcome to our live stream of high school sports. Please note that this broadcast is produced by an independent team of sports enthusiasts, and the views, opinions, and commentary expressed are solely those of the commentators and not representative of the schools, teams, or athletes featured. While we strive for accuracy, occasional errors or misstatements may occur. This stream is intended for entertainment and educational purposes only. Thank you for joining us and enjoy the show.
Yeah, come on, let's go. Hey, you ain't never seen nothing like this. Ain't no telling how it might get. It's the hypest right here. High school sports at its finest. So many highlights, you have to rewind it. Hey, Stream City, let me just remind you. The heart of a lion, a team full of fighters. So many stars on the field, it'll blind you. They're giving everything they got till the time's up. Yeah, legends in the making. History is made. We just getting started. You ain't seen a thing. YSN, gotta know the name. They gon' bring the flames. They gon' do their thing. Take it to another level, don't hold back. High school, got a passion and we show that. Got the drive and you know they got the heart. Number one spot for your high school sports. Let's go for the win. Hey.
And welcome in, ladies and gentlemen. It is a Wednesday edition of YSN Live right here on your sports network. DJ Yoakley alongside the 8-time best-selling author and world traveler. Ladies and gentlemen, Anthony Ronald Hartwig. How we doing, pal?
We're doing good. It's Wednesday, middle of the week, and it's cooling down a little bit. You're starting to really feel like fall. Yesterday, I think it was in the high 60s, low 70s, and today the same. So we're starting to get that fall weather coming in. I know a lot of people are happy about it.
Yeah, it's weird. This is that time of year that there's a lot of people that are really excited about the fall weather. A lot of people really upset about the fall weather. Like the same people that were complaining about 100 degrees and living on the sun last week are the same people that are mad that they had to put a hoodie on, during the evening to quiet the chill of the late August evening in Ohio.
They're the Goldilockses of the world. They want it just right? They can't have
what
it
is
cold.
Come on, what is just right? Like air conditioning? That's
75.
That's 75, and it's not. I don't like when it's too sunny. I don't like when it's too cloudy. The leaves have to be perfect. It better not rain. Relax, people. Hey, people of Ohio, you woke up. Your feet hit the floor. It's a good day to be alive. You're 6 feet up instead of 6 feet down.
Yeah.
Let's celebrate that. It's the greatest Wednesday, August 27th you're ever going to have in 2025. So let's celebrate that. Boy, oh boy, has it been loud in YSNville. Lately. I mean, we're a little late getting to online today.
Yeah.
We have
last minute phone call, right? CEO, the life of a CEO. You got to take phone calls, and we got one right as we were going to go live.
Cooking. I mean, we got so much good stuff going on. Anthony, I know you were busy yesterday, getting fitted for new whip,
new wheels coming. Here we go.
Did you pimp it out?
Well, I got a cup holder this time. I sprung for the cup.
You have a cup holder?
Yeah, sprung for the cup holder.
On your wheelchair?
He's like, insurance won't cover it. I said, you know what? Spring for it. We're doing it.
I got this, buddy. You slipping the old George Washington. Was this do anything for you?
What about this?
No, sir. It doesn't do anything.
Anthony, that's a $1 bill. You can't buy
a cup holder. A cup holder.
Yep.
Is it like power?
No, it's just anything? A little like some people have the ones they put in the car cup holder so it doesn't really slip out. It's like so it's kind of like one of those, and it clamps on wherever you want it to on the wheelchair. So it has these clamps that you can fit it on the footrest. You can put it up on the armrest, wherever it fits. You can kind of put it. So it'll be cool. It'll be
you're gonna be riding in style, pal.
I know. No more putting it on my hip and having it slide out while I'm rolling, and then being like, "Where's my drink? Oh, I lost it a mile back." It's gone.
The fact that you're I mean, I'm amped up for you. I'm like, hey, we're gonna celebrate the cup holder. Baby. Celebrating the cup holder. you sprung for the cup holder on the new whip.
I got the color this time is gonna be Corvette red. So we're gonna ride in nice candy apple, metallic red this year.
Little YSN red?
Yeah. YSN red. Here's
what I'm worried about though, Ant. I mean, my dad told me a long time ago, you got to be careful with red rides because Popo, they'll pick you up. they see you riding. I'm a little worried about you, pal. I mean, you draw enough attention to yourself. If you're hum babying it down a hill or something, they might tag you.
Those resource officers at the schools are going to be looking at me now.
Can you get a speeding ticket if you're going over 25?
I don't think I'm street legal to start, but I can't go over 25 either. So
you're like Frank the Tank. Hey, let's keep this on the down low. This baby's not exactly street legal. I'm gonna start calling you the Dragon.
I don't have turn signals. I think that's one of the requirements of being street legal.
You're the Red Dragon. That's the name of your new chair with the cup holder. The Red Dragon.
Start out to go into Niles a lot more. Be on brand.
Listen, if you want to go to Niles, go to Niles. But the Red Dragon pops up anywhere. Ronnie the Red Dragon. There it is. That might be the name of your 9th bestseller, Ronnie the Red Dragon. That'd be awesome.
Coming soon to a bookshelf.
We have a ton to talk about. Not interviews today, so we apologize for that. It's back to school week for a lot of these schools, so we're
navigating it.
We're being shut out. Let's just be honest. We're being shut out from a standpoint. They're like, hey, listen, once we get this under control a little bit, we're good. But like, they have to learn about what they're going to learn about first. And then basically, once we get tired of the kids, you can have them. Yeah. But hey, we got a lot to talk about. A lot of volleyball happening last night, obviously on a Tuesday night. One thing I'm super proud of, and I'll let you kind of take the glory for all the volleyball because you've been tracking it, you've been doing all the write-ups. But I saw my Bulldogs, East Palestine Bulldogs, now 4-0 and 3-0 in the EOAC. John Bastarkey, hoping to get him on the show because I feel like, I mean, you've interviewed John, you've done great previews, but I've known John for a very long time. He coached my sister, he coached everybody seemingly in either track or basketball and now volleyball. Again, he is a dog. Like, John Bastarkey is the funniest human being you could ever meet. But like on the volleyball court, I don't know if you saw some of the pictures.
Oh yeah,
that Lori took last night.
His wife threw some shade. His wife threw some shade.
I like all business. Like, Johnny, smile. You're for it. And like, I think he gets it because like they're winning and they're winning big. Like, I believe last night was their first dropped set.
Yeah, 4-1. But that's still, I mean, Southern is a volleyball team that has kind of had East Palestine's number. Like, they've kind of been one of the better teams in the EOAC. So to get a win over a program like that, and they're coached by a legend in their own right. So to be able to get a win over Southern is just a big program.
It's Bob Shansky, right?
Yeah, it's a big win.
You're talking about a legend in the coaching ranks who probably doesn't get near enough kudos for what he's been able to do, not just for Southern and I know East Liverpool going back, but the sport as a whole. Like, he loves volleyball. Guys like him and Dan McKinstry, old school coaches. And then you have like JB, John Bastarkey, who is he's got a bunch of different nicknames, but Stark is all business. And the thing that I love about Stark is that he cares about the kids. He cares about his team. His daughter Malin is helping him with coaching, and she's all business. I mean, there was a time she took a timeout the other night in the JV game, and she's like, "What are we doing?" Like, you could hear her just screaming in the JV huddle, "What are we doing?" And John on the next game was,
what are we doing?
What are we doing? Like, it takes 3 sets to win it. And I remember distinctly, and I think you and I have had this conversation. Liberty's a different team this year than they were last year, and I want to get into that here in a moment.
We're gonna,
we're
gonna have them at some point. We're gonna have some Liberty volleyball interviews coming very soon. Can't pinpoint when, but they're coming.
We're gonna talk about them because, and there's a reason they're gonna come on the show, and Coach Furketic is doing a phenomenal job. But that second set against East Palestine, that was a different Liberty team.
Yeah.
And Coach Bastarkey, whose Bulldogs handled that first set pretty easily, the second set was a little bit of a nightmare there for a couple matches. And, point blank, he's calling it out and saying, hey, listen, it takes 3 to win this. And the worst thing you can do as a team is cruise through the first and then run into that brick wall in the second.
Yep.
Because that second set, I think, personally, not a volleyball connoisseur necessarily, but someone who's watched the game and cheered for a lot of people that played the game, that second set's huge. The biggest, I think, of the entire match. Because if you're down 1 and you take that second set, you have all the momentum going into the third.
Right.
And then if you win one and you take the second, everybody's back's against the wall. Right. That team that's down 0-2 is basically sitting there, and if they have any fight left, if you start hot in the third set, they're toast.
Oh yeah,
they're toast. Very rarely do we see that team down 0-2 come back in the third set down like 6-0 and win that third set and then win the match. Very rare.
Chances of winning go down astronomically when you're down 2-0. We've seen it happen. It does happen. You can have the reverse sweep 2-0 to 3-2. But it's hard. It's hard. Yeah, because you win 3 in a row. So I call it the reverse sweep. But when it's 1-1, I like to say, okay, it turns into a 3-set match now. Best 2 out of 3. When it's 1-1, who can win the next 2 sets? So it's a very tipping point. That second set very important. And East Palestine pulling off that second set in the Liberty game, but then also just kind of taking care of business. 4 wins is 4 wins, and you're going to celebrate it. But I think Bastarkey also knows that there's a lot more volleyball to play. You got 22 games, and 4-0 is just 4-0. So there's a long road ahead. But this is a great start for the Bulldogs.
You talk about 4-0. Last year, Liberty, a team that won 3 sets all year.
Yeah.
And here they are. They got 3 wins.
3 wins. Yep. 3-2, I think, is the.
And you look at what Coach Furketic has been able to do and the belief that her student athletes have in her and vice versa. Hey, Liberty, way to go. Way to get it done. And it's not over yet. And, we don't want to sit there and it's not the 4th of July. It's nobody's birthday party. But, let's celebrate the victories, because that's huge. If you would have told me, hey, they won 3 sets and never won a game in 2024, and now they've got 3 wins in 2025, say what you want about participation trophies. I'm not one of them. Wins are wins, man.
Yeah.
Wins are wins. And listen, it's tough. It is tough at the varsity level, at any level, when you get to playing somebody's best to get a win. So we're going to celebrate it. And congratulations to Coach Furketic, who has done an absolute job over there and, has everybody. And let's not stop there. Todd Smith, who's done is the guy over in Liberty. He has done a great job. Everybody over in Liberty has done a really good job of, I want to call it rebranding and kind of rebuilding that program to what it once was. And it's not done. They're in the middle of the staircase, but they're looking up and they're saying, hey, we can do this. I'm hearing about this scoreboard over there. Now, we were there the day the scoreboard went down, if you recall. I was there for the noon game.
The noon game.
And the scoreboard was toast. So now they have so much belief over there in Liberty and so much enthusiasm and saying, hey, we got to make this about the kids, make it special for them, that they brought in some, and I can't wait to see it, some Jumbotron that they have to have training on to use it. And I'm hearing that it's a big deal over there. And what they're trying to do is all centered around making sure that the kids are first. Right. So the kids are running the scoreboard to make the student athletes feel better and feel good and have that professional kind of look to it. And when that happens, you can't help but get excited. So, hey, Liberty, Leopards, Way to put it together. We're appreciative, and obviously some of the conversations I had yesterday was, wow, I didn't know that was happening out there. Some of the stuff we don't know happens until somebody tells us. We have 80 districts, so it is. I'm not complaining about that, but it is a little bit challenging sometimes to shine that flashlight on everybody and be like, oh yeah, you have this new. But if they bring it to our attention, that's what this show's for, right? To bring attention and say, hey, you guys see what Liberty's doing over there? Pretty impressive, pretty special.
We have a couple of new jumbotrons this year. These schools are starting to get on the jumbotron train inside the gym. Camel has a new one in their gym. We saw where was it? Boardman has a new one. They have a new scoreboard.
Boardman has one
and a video screen now. So
in the gym,
yeah, brand new scoreboard and a video screen.
Hammer.
So
Louisville got one, and the biggest in the country, I believe, last year. Louisville's. Hey, I'm gonna put it out there. Louisville is different, and different in a good way. Different in the sense that if they're doing it, buddy, they're looking all across the country and they're saying, "What's the biggest scoreboard? Okay, we got to beat that by a foot.
Beat it.
Put it on the wall." Doc Thomas, put it on the wall. Get it up there. Like you know, like that feeling in the movie. Now everybody knows I don't like movie theaters, but like everybody complains about like the front row seat where you're sitting there.
Oh, yeah.
Like straight up, just looking up at this thing. Like that's what people feel like. It has to be. It's just, oh my god.
And
Imagine if they ran replays on that thing. Like,
oh, that's the next thing. We got graphics that go in and say like point or service station. Replays are next.
The whooshes, big whooshes. Yeah, I'm excited about all of that stuff that's happening for these schools. And you're starting to hear a little bit more about it. Now, one little luxury item, I guess you could say, that is near and dear to my heart, and I have been pushing for one particular district to get this. And I'm starting to see them pop up a lot more. And I think you are too, because you love being on X. I'm starting to love it a little more. There's this system that you can put in the rafters, and it shoots down onto the court, and it does like the professional thing where it like changes your court into like almost like a movie screen, a jumbotron itself.
Right.
I heard it's very affordable within reason. Depends on what your budget is. But like I heard it's in the barely $10,000 range. And that in today's day and age, $10,000 is something that you can raise for a golf outing or a basket raffle, whatever. And I'm telling you, man, if we get one of those somewhere, we will be following that particular team.
I'll be in that gym a lot.
We will put a cot in the upper deck and live there, basically, because that's the kind of stuff that we get excited about. There's a little, hey, bells and whistles. Bells and whistles. We get excited about bells and whistles. I want to see that happen around here. I think that should be. ADs are rolling their eyes right now. They're like, oh my gosh, this guy, like all he wants, bells and whistles. All he wants, like, can it just be about the No. It's an entertainment. Like, you raise your ticket prices on your hot dogs, you raise your ticket prices, and I get it. It's cause and effect. But like, you're telling me that with some of the stuff that we spend our money on in school, sports, all that stuff, snowplows, that you can't get one of those, and you're not going to make that money back from people. Like, even just youth sports, if you're able to get someone to dedicate themselves to that, and you do that for youth sports, they'll rent that gym. They'll rent that gym. And that's another avenue for revenue generation for schools. And that's the way you have to look at this is, okay, we're going to invest, let's say it's around number $10,000 in this product or that Jumbotron, right? Which is, I would guess, because I've heard the number on Jumbotrons is the cost of going to college If you can get one for $10K, it's on your floor, and you don't need a jumbotron,
right?
Boy, think about how much money you're snapping. Hey, yeah, we'll run 24 hours this gym, no problem. They can't hit you for electric bill if you never turn the lights off, right?
If you never turn the
just leave it running. Leave it running. We're playing men's league right now. They have the intro, and it's just dudes with beer bellies playing basketball. I
church league basketball. Guys,
what do I know? You imagine Jesus coming down like you have, dude. There'd be people that freaked out. Gee, like you have church league basketball, and like the first thing is like you're watching. What's that movie or the series? Oh man, the series. It's like straight out of the Bible. I should know this. We're going over it in church right now. But like you have that, and it's like instead of like the Chicago Bulls like open, it's like a it's like a sermon on the like. You imagine how sweet that would be. You fill the gym up in the sermon, like the jumbotron is there, and like instead of the giant jumbotrons, with the words on it and the songs and the gospel, it's on the floor.
It's on the floor.
I would go to that church right now. Right now.
I mean, like, really, like, what if a church ran its service like it was a sporting event? That would be kind of a nifty.
I'd be there, right? I'd be there Sunday. I'd say, hey, listen, with all due respect, I got to go over here. That's what I got to do. Just cheer for Jesus, man. We're cheering for Jesus.
Pastor gets walkout music. He's like jogging out, like rips off the sweatsuit, the tearaway sweatsuit.
God is an awesome God. Yeah. Hulk's out. You got Andy Hake on the drums, like Animal from the Muppet Babies.
That's all out.
That's a church I want to be a part of. I'm telling you that right now. If you can get Andy Hake playing the drums in church, I'm in.
I'm in.
Did you see we cut the
I
Andy
did.
Hake?
If you haven't seen it, go to our social media pages because that's just a clip of it, but it's one of the best interviews I think we've ever had. Definitely,
does that surprise you?
No. Definitely the best post-game interview.
Andy Hake with no sleeves on, eating ice cream with a hat that says "Run the damn ball." It had to be 11:30, and he's
and he opens with "I love my country."
Gentlemen, like never before. What kind of ice cream you eating, Andy? Salted caramel pretzel. I don't think that's yours. I'm pretty sure Jen bought that for herself.
That's a great thing about ice cream. You can just go down and get some more.
You can just go to the store and get more. She loves our country. I love it. You gotta get the mannerisms right for Andy. You gotta. I mean, it's all here. It's all here.
I just can't like being coached by that guy. I would love to have like a peek behind the curtains of an Andy Hake practice and be able to sit in on what that sounds like.
I've shown you the game clips. Like, we have a behind the scenes, like whatever we called it, mic'd up with Andy Hake a few years ago when they played Lisbon that we cannot use.
Use.
I couldn't do that. God, hey, I got the approval from Andy. He's like, come on in. I'll show you how we make the sausage. We'll do it right. We'll do. This is how we're gonna do it. And he did great. But during the game, it was a blowout. And for as long as I live, I'll never forget this. The opening kickoff was an onside kick, and I can't. Jontrell Mixon was the up man, and if you remember, Jontrell Mixon was and continues to be a large human being.
Yeah, big dude.
He was very intimidating on the football field, but the nicest kid you're ever going to meet. For some reason, the kicker thought it was going to be an awesome idea, or the coach or whoever it was. We're going to start this game off with an onside kick. They kicked it right to John Trell. John Trell picks it up because he's an athlete and runs right at the kicker and absolutely demolishes this poor kid. Just sent him into oblivion. And reminding you, John Trell had the football and just truck stick this kicker, and everybody just watched. And I had Andy mic'd up, and all you hear is, "Let's go, let's go." The kick happens. On the ball, and then John Trell runs, and you hear, "Oh my God! Oh my God!" And I was like, to this day, one of the funniest things that has ever happened to me on the sideline, because like we tied it into, I think it was Alec and Matt were calling the game, and we tied it into their audio, and it was just so funny, their audio and their video, and then we did like the comeback to it. People give Andy a lot of grief, man. Like, I get it, I understand it. We've talked about it openly. He's not afraid of it anymore. The fact that he's willing to come on to our show and be him is magical. And it's magical. And I can't thank him enough for, because people are always like, is that how he really is? Yes.
Yes, that's genuine Andy Hake right there.
That's my best friend right there. He's
what everyone else sees is button up Andy Hake.
And
that's wild in its own right. But when he lets his hair down
and takes his shirt off and leaves his hat on, that's Andy. I mean, the Andy that I know, and this isn't the Andy Hake show, but like the Andy that I know, which I love, is a guy that goes out in not just his community, but goes in his neighbors' front yards and is pitching wiffle balls and playing with the children of the neighborhood, which is why I think he is so beloved everywhere he goes, because he's not afraid to be himself, and he's not afraid to continuously do that. And I think that's what some of the things that we're missing nowadays. Coaches are so busy, during the season, after the season, and they've got to be very careful about what they say. They're almost, we talked about it the other day, they're like the mayor, sometimes more power than the mayor of a small town, that they don't do that. They don't invest themselves, not necessarily invest themselves, but they can't be themselves in the community. Go out and, throw the football with some of the kids and garner their interest, because, the parents are going to go, hey, that's the football coach that's out there throwing a football with my son who's 6, who has no business, doing that. And you can have some, not that you need false idols or anything like that, but it's not bad to have a guy like Andy, that says, hey, I've been throwing the ball, with him since I was 6 years old, like stuff like, or since he was 6 years old. It's one of those things, man. It's awesome. And small towns like Mineral Ridge, they appreciate that. Did you see they have the Hake Mania shirts?
Yeah.
And the RWO shirts that are coming out?
Mineral Ridge is doing something real special with their students right now. I mean, the orange and black games that they're doing across all sports, and the
golf, dude.
The golf. They were just packed at a golf. Like, that's probably the most well-attended golf meet in a high school that I've seen in a long time. I mean,
that
was
picture
really cool.
is worth $1 million, dude. With the kid teeing off, and there's a bunch of his student body behind him. I mean, come on, hey, give it up. Mineral Ridge, unbelievable job. That is how you lead. That is how you lead, and you say, hey, here's our expectation. We've seen it. We've done shows with the middle school that they pack the gym. They've got the band going. Like, listen, it's not just because Andy's there. We were doing this well before Andy made his triumphant return. But I will tell you this, dude, Mineral Ridge is special. Mineral Ridge is special.
There's a reason. If you go in their gym and you look right above their student section, there's a golden megaphone there. And that is an award that the OHSA gives out to what is deemed the best student sections in the state. So they have one of those golden megaphones in their student section in the gym. And it's for well reason. They've had a really good student section for a long time. And they're taking full advantage of it this year with that orange and black game. And it's really, really fun to see the showing that these sports are getting. Like soccer had over 100 students at the soccer game cheering on the Rams. And we saw the golf picture. And It's just really cool.
Derpy wants to know, in other news, who's ready for YSU football tomorrow?
I think you guys are going to be live at YSU.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited for the team. I'm excited. Bo Brungard is, from what I understand, named the starter, which is big, and obviously huge Bo Brungard fans for a long time. And he's got a new shirt out. Youngstown Clothing Company. Shout out. Now a sponsor, by the way. So yeah, we're gonna be there tomorrow. We're gonna be at the Varsity Club. So anybody who wants to stop by, special start time 4 p.m. At the Varsity Club. Lots of food, lots of fun, lots of deals, specials, all that stuff. We'll be there talking a little YSU. Steve Leslie, the general manager of YSN, and of course the color commentator for the YSU football games, will be joining us to kick off the show. And then we're going to talk a little bit of why Youngstown's so special with some of the local business owners, some of the local restaurant owners as well, talking about like their favorite food, and they can't say their own, which little cross promotion. So I'm kind of excited about that. And then we're going to do our thing like we always do. Greg McAfee, myself, as well as Sam Torres and Rob Johnson will be on the 1s and 2s. We're going to have the perfect pass set up, and hopefully somebody can win $200. Or hopefully everybody wins $500, up to $500 off of their next window upgrade. Or I know they do baths and fittings and all kinds of stuff like that as well. So, hey, Window Depot, the home team, man, killing it. And thanks to them for allowing us to do this. And when I'm not going to lie to you. When I said, hey, I have this idea, I'd like to throw a football through a window. Rich sat across, and Ryan's over here. Rich sat across and behind his desk, and he's like, you want to do what?
You want to what?
He's like, man, it'll be fun. I didn't tell him it was going to be foam football, so I think I kind of scared him a little bit. There was a little bit of nerves in that, but then I found a foam football, 3 foam footballs, as a matter of fact, not full size, pretty close, and not going to lie, the basketball coach for Niles, Jesse Harden, almost put it right in. And it did a little right through, right around the window and kicked out. And I was like, wow, that was almost bad. That was almost the first one. We're going to back it up about 5 yards. Back it up. No. We go on tomorrow, and we're excited to be out with the people, man. These Thursday night shows, some of my favorite. Hopefully you get to experience it at some point.
He just wanted the money to go to a charity. He's like, I'll get it close for excitement, but I want the money to go to charity, so I'm not going to make this. He was a good person.
Off the air, I can tell you that we were doing a little practice. That's what we do. DK Kotzel put it right through.
Ooh.
Drilled it. Like, was no doubter. I don't even know that it touched the frame. He just, like a YSN Tom Brady. It was incredible. I think he surprised himself because he's not speechless very often. He was very speechless. He couldn't.
He's like, I'll never do that again. Did someone get that on camera?
He's like, we didn't tape that? Like, no, we didn't tape that, DK.
The lens cap was on, DK. Dang. Sorry.
Cold-blooded. And one of the things I wanted to talk about today, I know we're already up against it. We've had a lot of conversation already. There's a comparison being in the whoa, pardon me. There's a comparison, or a comp, as we say, for college football into pro football. And they're saying, okay, well, the SEC is the NFC South or the AFC North or whatever it may be, right? So my question to you is, when you look around at the big 3 conferences that we have, really 4. Who would be those conferences? So, like, the NE8 would be what conference in college football?
I think we've said it before. Like, the NE8 is probably the SEC because there are so many evenly matched teams, and it seems like the SEC every year is beating up on each other, and that's why they're never pristine records in the SEC, because you got to keep playing really good teams week in and week out. So I think the NE8 would probably be that SEC type team. And it's also the team that anyone that's not in the SEC kind of throws some shade at, right? If you're not in the NE8 and you scoff at NE8 love, you're like, oh man, they're NE8 biases, or of course they love the NE8. They're ESPN's own the SEC, that kind of thing. I think the NE8's the SEC. I think the EOAC is the Big Ten, because that style of football in the EOAC kind of mimics that hard-nosed, lunch pail, bring your hard hat, bring your hard-hitting, type of football to the Big Ten that's always known for. You look at the programs in the Big Ten, Purdue, Ohio State, Michigan. They're all historically known for running the ball pretty dang well. So I think the EOAC would be the Big Ten, and then that leaves the ACC for the MVAC. No, I mean like the ACC in college.
Okay.
Would probably be your MVAC.
So where's that? Where's the All-American Conference?
Does it exist for football? We'll just pretend it does.
Yeah, we're going to pretend.
So I would say, well, the AAC, because it's smaller, I'll just say it's the Pac-12. It's the one that's a little bit forgotten about because it's a smaller conference. But
Pac-12 doesn't exist, does it?
Pac-12 still kind of exists. It's a lot disbanded, but I think Oregon State's still in there.
Really?
Washington's to Wazoo. I think the Pac-12 still kind of exists. It's like a quasi kind of conference, but it's one of those really smaller ones.
Big Ten. The majority of them went to the Big Ten.
Majority of them did. Like Washington's now in the Big Ten. UCLA's in the Big Ten.
Is it bad that we can't keep track of this? Like this, it's crazy.
It's brand new readjustment, but either way, I think. And then I do like the MVAC being in the ACC because one, it's that real spread out, right? You have teams from Columbiana and in Crestview, so they're down there, and then you have to go to Ravenna for Southeast in the MVAC, and I feel like the ACC is that way because you have Stanford over in California, and then you have all these East Coast teams that are trying to go from Stanford and Cal over there in the ACC too. It's real spread out in the Atlantic Coast Conference, so I think the ACC kind of lines up with the MVAC because it's pretty spread out geographically.
All right, we're going to dive into this a little deeper, all right? I'm going to give you a college football team, and you're going to tell me what high school football team under the YSN banner you think, and I'll do the same, what high school team you think that most equivalates to, whether it's tradition, whether it's what they, how they run, okay?
Okay, let's do it.
Let's start off with Boise State.
Boise State. So, like Boise, when I think Boise State, I think upset Central. I think that team that is always ready for a spoiler, right? Always ready to be that team that can beat the big dogs when they get the chance to. So I'm going to go with Struthers, Boise State. They're that team that's always the thorn in some really good teams' side.
That's interesting. See, I see Boise State as a team that everybody talks about from yesterday, right? Because they've had their success.
Right.
But also, to your point, always on upset watch. And, from I don't want to say inconsistency, but they're still looking to get back to where they were once. To me, that's the Springfield Tigers. I think the Springfield Tigers and Boise State very parallel in who they are. So I'm going to go with – I was going to go with Struthers, but I don't want to start it off like, oh, yeah, Anthony, I'm on the same boat. That's bad sports talk. You know what else is bad sports talk? When someone turns a vacuum in the middle of your show. There it is. Tennessee. The Tennessee Volunteers. Who do you think is the most like the Tennessee Volunteers?
When I see Tennessee, I think I think the second largest stadium in college football, as far as capacity goes. So they get really big crowds. And I think Tennessee is more like that of Springfield because Tennessee has very historic greatness, but they're trying to kind of get back in that conversation a little bit. They were down for a little bit. Now they're trying to get back in that conversation as a football program. And I also think college football is better when programs like Tennessee are good because they're just the blue bloods of college football. So I think high school football is better when Springfield is good because they're one of the blue bloods of area high school football. So I will flip your answer from Boise State and put Tennessee into the Springfield category.
Stolen valor right there. I know I was Springfield at the top of right off the tip of your tongue, and you just rolled them right into Tennessee. I am going to go with East Palestine, and here's why. And only because my senior year, the first year East Palestine made the playoffs ever, by the way, go Bulldogs, they spray painted the checkered end zone into our end zone. It was still grass at that point, and we didn't have much. We just had a bunch of neon orange and white paint, and the grounds crew did an unbelievable job of making that checkered end zone. It was bright as bright could be, not the right shade of orange, probably more like the Volunteers, but it was awesome. And well, also from that standpoint, to your point a little bit, it's a tradition-rich program with a lot of success and a lot of big names in that program, and they're looking to get back to those conference championships. We saw them in a very tough scenario against The Ohio State University to start off the college football playoffs last year in cold. Same thing that happened to East Palestine versus Warren JFK that we talked about. They're back in the playoffs, which is what they want to do, and now they want to take it to the next step. So I think Tennessee, East Palestine, parallel when it comes to college football and high school football. On to, we don't have to do all of these. Here's one for you. Indiana.
Okay, so when I think college football for Indiana, I think a football team that's always in the shadow of their basketball program.
Ooh.
A little bit, good team. A lot of good players. They're making strides, but they always have to kind of live up to, well, we're a basketball school, right? We're a basketball school. So I think Western Reserve, right?
Oh,
Western Reserve football. Been a basketball history tradition, a lot of good basketball in Western Reserve's history, kind of trying to live up to that basketball school reputation. And the football team has a lot of dudes out there trying to kind of say, hey, we got football here.
I like that a lot. I'm not even going to try to one up that, Ant. I like that a lot. Let's go to Florida. The Florida Gators. Chomp, chomp, chomp. Who to you represents the best, the Florida Gators at the high school level under YSN?
So when I think Florida, really I think Tim Tebow, right? The dude, the man, the myth, the legend. The guy that kind of proved everyone wrong. Everyone said Tim Tebow, he can't throw. He's not going to be a quarterback. He goes and he wins playoff games in the NFL, right? He's that guy that proven everybody wrong every step of the way. So when I think of high school football, when I think of teams that have guys that are always proving everybody wrong, I think Cardinal Mooney, right? Everyone says Cardinal Mooney's dead. Cardinal Mooney isn't a good football program anymore. And they keep proving people wrong. They keep going out and getting big wins. They got a big win in week 1. Don't mess with Cardinal Mooney. They have faith behind their side, like Tim Tebow. And just like Tim Tebow and the Florida Gators, can never really count Cardinal Mooney out, no matter what their record kind of says.
I'm going to go a different route here. I like your Tim Tebow analogy, but I think a big, strong-armed quarterback. I think a lot of history, a big school, but it feels like a small school. I know Florida probably is not going to pass for like Westminster or Teal or WNJ, but it's got that small feel because like it's a big following, and you have to like love it. It's Louisville to me. Louisville, if you went to Louisville, you never fall out of love with Louisville. And Louisville is a community, a district, a team, a program that believes in themselves no matter who they're up against. I'm going with Louisville as this area's Florida Gators. Let's go to, this might shake up the feathers a little bit. Michigan. Who is Michigan here in the Valley?
Michigan Wolverine. I'm going to say Michigan Wolverine. When I think of Michigan right now, especially, Bobby Heverly, shout out, by the way, if you're watching out there, this one's for you. Michigan is a team that was kind of forgotten for a long time, right? They're the doorstep of Ohio State for a long time. And then they get revenge on Big Brother a little bit, right? They've won, 4 or 5 in a row against Ohio State. They get a little bit of revenge on that Big Brother. So when I think of revenge on Big Brother, I'm thinking, oh, I had it and it just went away. You know what? I'm going to put Poland into Michigan because my first thought just went away. I think this might be a year where they get a little bit of revenge on Big Brother, a little bit, right? So they're going to try to get revenge on South Range, who's been their big brother in the NE8s, right? So they're going to try to be a thorn in that rivalry and get their time in the sun. I'm gonna put Poland in that Michigan category.
Interesting take. I'm gonna go with Cardinal Mooney on this one, and I've been waiting for this. So when you stole it, I was a little bit bummed out. But I will tell you this: why Cardinal Mooney? Because every single year, and this is probably gonna show my hand a little bit. Every single year, there's one game that matters to two schools, and nothing else on that calendar matters to them. It is Cardinal Mooney versus Ursuline, Week 10. It's the game, the one everybody waits for. I think Mooney has been, even when Ursuline's had absolute firepower, nukes, when Dan Reardon came back, Mooney's always been able to hang and sometimes pulled out the dub. So for me, Michigan is Cardinal Mooney in that sense. Don't get crazy on me, folks, at Mooney. It's just a comparison, and I think there's a lot of similarities to the swagger and the feel of Cardinal Mooney. Sometimes Mooney likes being the bad guy. They embrace it. They hug it, from a standpoint of, hey, listen, we're going to be who we're going to be, and you either love us or you don't. You're with us or you're not. So for me, Michigan is Mooney, and Mooney is Michigan.
Now, would that make Ursuline Ohio State then for you? If that's
Why did you spoil that? Why did you spoil that?
I didn't know where you were going.
Spoiler alert, dude. Come on, Anthony.
Everyone saw it in the waters. The writing was on the wall.
We're trying to keep people's interest for the last 8 minutes of this show.
That's where you turn left, right?
All right.
Answer.
Who is this? Who is the U? Who is Miami?
All right, so when I think of Miami football, I think of those guys that a little misunderstood, right? People kind of look at them one way. They're that stereotypical. I guess when you go to Miami, you're partying, right? You're not thinking about football. But then when you get on the field, you're like, oh, wait a minute, I miscalculated a little bit, right? These guys are athletes. They take their craft very seriously. When I think of Mooney, and when I think of the U, I think of Valley Christian, right? I think of teams that kind of look at Valley Christian one way until they get on the field and they realize, we're in for a long night because these guys are good at football. They're very dedicated to their craft. They're hardworking, and we just thought they were partying all the time, right? We just thought they were having fun at Valley Christian, but they're not just having fun at Valley Christian. They're working hard. They do a lot of stuff behind the scenes, and when you get on the field against Valley Christian, we miscalculated a little bit. This is not just Miami party school, right? This is someone that takes their craft very seriously.
Nah, see, I'm going with our beloved Andrew Hake. You got orange and green. It's not that far away from
Valley for a little bit.
Orange and black. And I think that everybody's got their eyes on what used to be at Mineral Ridge and what could be again, maybe even this year. And when you think about the excitement, Jimmy Johnson coaching at Miami, he wanted people to celebrate. He wanted people to have fun. He wanted people to know that they were there and they have arrived and they played Miami. All you need is a hat that says run the damn ball. That's what you need. And you need the RWO shirts. You need the Hake-mania shirts. Miami is Mineral Ridge, and Mineral Ridge is Miami. On to the next. Alabama. Who do you got for Alabama?
Oh, Alabama's South Range. Alabama's that team that's always right there. They're always good. They're always successful. Probably hated by a lot of people.
No.
That's just the way it goes, right? It's Alabama against the world, and that's what South Range kind of feels like. They're not always winning the title, but they're always kind of right there, kind of in that conversation.
I'm with you, man, and I'll step up and say they are winning the title. I mean, they're not always winning the Natty or the state championship, but they've been there, they've done that. They got the T-shirt from Youngstown Clothing Company, but they haven't lost an NE8 title yet, if I'm not mistaken. Correct?
Correct. Yeah.
I mean, sounds a lot like old Coach Saban down in Alabama. Old Alabama Jones down there. The traditions, the no stickers on the helmet. Now you look at the new jerseys for South Range. They are Alabama. They are embracing the hate us because you ain't us kind of mentality. And I think Alabama this is about as close as you're going to get to similarities. We talk about parallels. They are lockstep with each other, and I love it. I'm here for it. All right, Oregon. You go from tradition and to new jerseys and new this and new that. I think I know where you're going to go on this one.
When I think Oregon, I think swag, right? I think the swag city. I think Ursuline. Always come out with the new unis. I feel like there's a different helmet and uniform combo in Ursuline every year. We've seen the all golds. We've seen the white helmets. We've seen the green helmets. We've seen the gold helmets. There's a lot of swagger in Ursuline. I'm going Ursuline Irish as the Oregon Ducks.
I'm going to double down. Let's say East Palestine again. I know I'm cheating, but I'm making the rules, so it don't matter. You're talking about new helmets. You're talking about new jerseys, new uniforms, new locker rooms, new everything. East Palestine's got it. They are Oregon. So what I got, Tennessee and Oregon, kind of you mesh that and you have basically what East Palestine is here. I'm down for it. People, dude, stop talking about your home teams. Stop talking. Get over it. Change the channel. On to the University of Notre Dame.
Man, when Notre Dame's that shiny program that never seems to take a foot out of line. They're always right there. They're independent a little bit. They kind of stay away from the rest of the world in college football because they're independent. They have their own TV deal. When I think of YSN schools and I think of, schools that kind of they have their own broadcast system, right? They're successful. I think of Garfield, right? Garfield's kind of they're not independent in the sense that they're not in a conference, but they're kind of running their own show down there and they have their own way of doing things and they're kind of separated a little bit from the rest of YSN because I think they're one of the only teams we have in that county. They were the first team we had in that county imported. So Garrettsville Garfield to me kind of fits that very tradition rich, very successful, but kind of does their own thing, Notre Dame football.
Same description, same kind of explanation, if you will. I'm going to go with Louisville. I think Louisville, that's tradition, heritage, programs with an S. I won't say with a Z, with an S. Programs. Notre Dame, you play Notre Dame, you played Notre Dame. You feel good about it. You walk in to their cathedral. You walk into Touchdown Jesus. You walk into the Golden Dome. You walk into everything and you go, whoa, you feel like you're playing there. Dude, you go to Louisville, you're playing in Louisville. You can't, there's blue as far as the eye can see. You've got the master of the 1 and 2s over there and Roberto Johnson. To me, Notre Dame is a lot of expectation. And there's an expectation and a standard we always talk about. That's a buzzword. Mm-hmm. There's that in Louisville. There's that in Notre Dame. That's why I'm pairing those two together. All right. Georgia.
Now, not my favorite college football team, obviously.
Nobody cares.
But when it comes to Georgia, you can't argue with their success. You can't argue the way they play football. Mark Richt was the head coach there for a long time, and he just ran the ball down your throat. Didn't matter how big you were, what your ranking was. He was going to run the ball. Even when he had Matt Stafford, who is one of the best quarterbacks right now in the NFL, he still ran the ball more than he passed, right? He still had this running mentality. So I'm going to say not just because the logo fits. Gerard, right? Gerard in Georgia, kind of peas in a pot.
You peas in a pod, not pot.
Pod. I said pod. It just kind of
popped. Said pod. I'm going with that too. I think that's too easy. I feel like it's too easy, but it's too true. It's too true. You talk about hard-nosed, never getting the respect in their own division, their own conference. You're talking about Gerard. You're talking about Georgia. When you think about A.J. Pearson, the dude runs for 8, or I guess he combined for 8 touchdowns. He's a big dog nominee. He's got all kinds of nominations from places we don't even know. But he's he's not a situational quarterback. He's not a system quarterback. His dad has certainly trained him up to be the great young man that he is. I'll tell you what. I mean, I said Alabama and South Range, Georgia and Gerard. It might be just as close to comparison with those two. I love this one. And I think, hey, I'm one of the Gerard guys. I think Gerard is going to have a huge year this year and just upset the entire apple cart in the NE8. On to, this is a little interesting one. Clemson.
Dabo Swinney and Clemson. When I think of Clemson, one of the things they're always really kind of lock, stock, and barrel at is the defensive line and the defense and the pressure they kind of bring it to you. And when I think of being able to cause a lot of havoc on defense in high school football and big guys on the line. I think of Hubbard. Hubbard's always known for their big offensive and defensive lines. So I think Hubbard, and they've had plenty of success, and they've had plenty of great players leave that program. So I think Hubbard is like right on line with that Clemson mentality of we're going to have big guys up front. We're going to have skill players every now and then, but Clemson isn't always skill player central. There's sometimes they're just like, we're going to succeed because we have big guys up front that can't stop you. We'll make any running back in the backfield good, whether it be C.J. Spiller a long time ago or Etienne, Travis Etienne, a big guy for Clemson not too long ago. We'll make any running back good because we just have big guys up front that just want to hit people, and I think that fits Hubbard pretty well.
Clemson, to me, is a team that only gets respect in spurts. They only get respect whenever they're going to win. They're going to blow teams out. You look at the mustard line, and it's, okay, Clemson's going to win this game. But the close games, there's a lot of doubt. There's a lot of narrative created around Clemson that they're not the ones. Canfield, to me, is that team. I mean, you look at, okay, we can run the ball. Canfield can run the ball. We can move mountains. We got some big boys. We've got usually a quarterback that can sling it, can drop back, and can throw. He can also get around the perimeter and score some tutties. We got great ground game. Again, defense that is, almost legendary in years past. I think it's just too good to be true. When you're thinking about Clemson, you're thinking about great coaches and Joe Ignazio and what he's had to overcome. And there's a lot of chatter about West Branch and walking all over Canfield, and Canfield shouldn't even schedule this game anymore. What happened? A lot of people said, "Oh boy, that wasn't me. That was I don't know who said that." There's a lot of miscited sources around the area after that happened. Dude, I got to tell you, Clemson and Canfield, two peas in a pod, as you say. On to the Ohio State University. Mine is going to be Ursuline. Thanks for the spoiler, Anthony. Tradition-rich program. Guys that are just going to leave you bloodied and battered every single year, every single game. What they did to Steubenville, I don't think anybody's done to Steubenville in a while. And I think it could have even been worse when you think about what Ursuline went in and did. And I love that matchup. I love that contest. I love the atmosphere at Steubenville. But you've got a team like Ohio State that gets beat in the game and then just runs the table and just scorches everybody. I think there's a lot of that in Ursuline. I think it's us against the world within those hallways right now at Ursuline. And I think this is, when you talk about Michigan and Ohio State, Mooney and Ursuline, slap it on, let's go.
So you got to hear me out on this one because it's not the biggest high school. And I think a lot of people would say Ohio State, well, you got to go for a big high school. Yeah, you might maybe go for Fitch or maybe go for Boardman. I'm going to go, this high school is kind of the show in town, right? The only show in town. Columbus, it's all Ohio State. There's nothing really out. I mean, no shade to the Blue Jackets or the Crew, but it's kind of Ohio State's world in Columbus, in the middle of the state.
That's the protein.
Right? You could argue that the state is Ohio State.
Sure.
No shade to the Browns or Bengals out there, but I think there are probably more Ohio State fans than there are Browns and Bengals fans. Maybe.
Lots of shade.
So shade out there to the Browns and Bengals. Sorry about it. I think of RU, United, in Hanoverton, in their own little world. And the other thing about United, receiver capital of YSN, right? Grant Knight, great wide receiver, one of the best receivers we've had on the network.
Baker.
Ohio State's known for receiver university a little bit. They had a really big stretch where they were putting out pro receivers left and right. So I'm going to go United, throwing the ball around, really good receiving core, and their own little world down there in Hanoverton.
All right, two more. We are Penn State. Who do you got?
When I say Penn State, right, what comes to mind? Well, one, they've had the same uniform forever, right? Feels like they never change. They never change. They have the white out. They have great fan bases. I'm going to say Mineral Ridge. They've had the same helmet forever since I can remember. They've never changed that Ram. I almost got gold and red.
I think they had
orange and black helmet.
They had an R on there at one point, I believe.
Could be.
Hey, journalism.
Could be journalism. Hasn't been since since I was paying attention to high school football, but in the student section, man, the atmosphere of Mineral Ridge. We talked about it. The orange and black games or all the other sports. That's like the whiteouts for Penn State. You can't beat it. So I'm gonna go Mineral Ridge for Penn State.
I am gonna go Poland, Penn State, and here's why. You're in a situation. Uh-oh. Am I good?
Yeah, you're good. Yeah.
Okay.
I hear you.
There was a pop-up there. I don't know what it was. Anyway, I'm going to go Penn State from a standpoint of teams that have, again, traditionally rich program that is just constantly looking to be in the conversation, looking to, like Penn State is this year as the number 2 ranked team in the nation. There's a lot of hubbub about Poland this year, a lot of expectations about what Poland's going to do. Every pundit you talk to, Poland. A lot of pride, obviously, in Poland. A lot of it's about time is what I'm hearing inside the community of it's about time we get respect. It's about time our boys step up to the plate. It's about time we get the coverage. It's about time we have, all that stuff. I get it. I'm here for it. I love it. I think there's a lot of expectation, and notoriously Penn State known for losing a game that they shouldn't during the season. Poland does not want to fall into that trap. The comparison is the good stuff, but the bad stuff, the black cloud that people are talking about, there's some trap games in there. The Girard game's going to be good. I don't think anybody told South Rain not to show up this year to Poland. It's going to be interesting to see what Poland becomes. I like them this year a lot, but I think they're a lot like the Penn State Nittany Lions. And finally, the number 1 team in all of the land, a team that will take on The Ohio State University this Saturday at noon, much to the detriment of Eric Hughes. Ladies and gentlemen, the Texas Longhorns. Anthony, who do you got?
When I think Texas Longhorns, first thing that comes to mind is Matthew McConaughey, to be honest. All right. Then I think of that team that has that one national championship in the memory, and we had a while of just trying to be relevant again, and then punching back in the scene, right? So I'm gonna when I think of a team that was off the radar for a little bit and then had one guy that came through that kind of put them back on the map and got them a championship a couple of years ago. I'm thinking Walter Moses. I'm going up to the 4-4-0 a little bit. I'm thinking the Perry Pirates.
Going to the Fofo
for a hook 'em horns. So
here for the Fofo.
I'll go Perry.
I'm going to go to Akron. I'm going to go to the Archbishop Hoban Knights. A lot of potential, a lot of chatter, a lot of squawking in the box. Great coach, Coach Sarkisian, right, at Texas.
Yep.
Coach Tim at Hoban, and you look at what they have, the weapons they have that are chosen weapons of the people that go there, right? Obviously, when you're talking about a Catholic school, students can go there. It's a private school. It's an opportunity. They've got some dudes, and they brought them in for one single purpose, and that is to be better men and to be, well, I guess two purposes, and to win some football games along the way. And looking at what they did on Friday night, and yeah. And unfortunately, I know there's going to be a lot of people that want to throw some shade. I think that's what Texas is going to do to Ohio State this weekend. They're going to start, like in the jungle, you start hacking trees away and hacking hopes and dreams and blazing trails. We're hooking them this weekend. I'm picking Texas to win the Natty. I'm picking them to win the Natty. I'm picking Hoban to win the state. Hoban equals Texas. Texas equals Hoban. Boom.
Boom.
That's how you tap dance around a show that you have nothing to talk about. You create content. We create our own content. You can see our content 24/7 at ysnlive.com. You can also see it on YouTube, our new 24/7 channel, which has a ton. And I mean a ton. It's been running for like 2 weeks now, constantly. Mm-hmm. And people are loving it. I can't believe how much people have embraced this. You know, they're watching it at work. They're watching it when they're bored. They're watching it in the locker room when, you know, between, you know, getting back into their civvies and out of their uniforms. Watching it on bus rides. I saw a picture that the whole team's watching their own games on the bus. Love that. So check out our content 24/7, 365. You know who else is open 24/7, 365? Mr. Hartwig.
Guessing it's Joe Dickey Electric.
It is Joe Dickey Electric, and I'm freezing up, so I don't want to press the button because I might fall out here. So we're just going to say, this is the Joe Dickey Electric Spark, presented by Joe Dickey Electric. They are, see, there it is. There it is. It popped up. I'm scared. I don't want to touch anything. I'm not touching anything. We're going to cruise right out of this show. It is the Joe Dickey Electric What's Your Spark, brought to you by Joe Dickey Electric. They are everything electrical, and they're available 24/7, 365. Dude, my computer is going bananas. It's like Ryan's in it. Joe Dickey Electric, DickeyElectric.com. Anthony, what's your spark?
My spark today is a little bit nostalgia. You know, I was back in South Range last night doing their first volleyball game on YSN of the year, and they got the win over Girard. But going through the halls of South Range and being able to kind of be home again, I guess you could say, you know, that school was my alma mater, and there's a lot of memories, and you kind of treasure those times in high school. And I know high school is a tough time, guys. If you're athletes out there or just students out there watching, I know high school can be a tough time, but I promise you, there are going to be things you miss about high school when you look back. No, even if your experience wasn't great. I know there are people out there that are like, I hate high school. I can't wait to be out of high school. There are things that you'll kind of miss about it. And I know when you say that, there are people that are like, oh my God. But there are things that you'll miss about just the simplicities a little bit of high school, and the kind of the only thing you stressed about was school and what you were going through. You didn't have the adulting yet, and you kind of missed that kind of time a little bit. So treasure the time that you have in those hallways when you're out there and you're doing the student thing and you're playing your sports. Treasure it. We're talking to a lot of seniors, obviously, every year. They all talk about how fast it goes. They're not lying. It goes really fast. Life goes really fast. So treasure the time you have in high school and make sure that you make the most of it.
Did you just give us an upscale Billy Madison speech? Yes. Don't ever say that. Don't ever say that. It feels like that's all it was. Hey, appreciate you. Way to scale up Billy Madison. Appreciate you. Mine is going to be simply happy birthday to Logan Bell. A young man that we've covered for many years, has certainly become part of our family here at YSN and my family. The Bell family always not just great to us. They've adopted the Yoakleys into their lovely family, the R.L. Craig family as well. So thank you and congratulations and happy birthday to Logan Bell. As also a little shout out to my sister-in-law, Kate Miller, who also celebrating a wonderful birthday today. A lot of birthdays today. So happy birthday to everybody out there, including Kate and Logan, who's celebrating their birthdays today. That has been a YSN Live show. Sorry if you didn't like it. Sorry if we let you down. But hey, we'll be better tomorrow. A lot better tomorrow because we got some guests tomorrow, and including Jake Noling, that we're excited for. 12:15-ish, we'll have the Crestview quarterback on here on YSN Live. You can catch yours truly tomorrow. I will actually be on ESPN Radio, I think it's 94.7, with former YSN talent John Bacho. We'll be talking about sports and high school sports and all kinds of stuff. I'll be on there starting at about 10 o'clock. And I think I'm getting out of there because I got to get back to the studio because I'm not missing this Jake Noling interview. And Anthony, I would never leave you by your lonesome like that. Like you're like a little cubby out in the wild or something. I'll find you, little cubby. I'll find you. We'll be all right. I'm going to bring you home. Get your nurse back to health. We'll be all right. And then when you're riding dirty in that YSN red dragon with that cup holder, shiny and new, with ice cold water in it, we'll get you one of those water, those coolers, those things. Keeps your water cold. We're going to pimp that thing out, man. You're going to be riding on 22s. What are they? What are those wheels? They 26s?
I don't know. I'd have to measure.
No, they 22s, but they clean.
They clean.
That's going to do it for our show today. We hope you had a good time. We had a good time. As always, we want to thank our sponsors, Toyota of Warren and Greenwood Chevrolet, for making this all possible for you. Thank you to Greg Greenwood and certainly Tino Merlo and the whole crew over at Toyota of Warren. That's it. That's a show. That's all. And YSN thanks you for watching this presentation of Your Sports Network. For stories, stats, and more, go to ysnlive.com.